Now, the suspense with regards to the Chief Minister's position in Rajasthan has finally ended. The BJP has appointed Bhajanlal Sharma, who is a first-time MLA from Sanganer constituency in Jaipur, as the new Chief Minister of Rajasthan. What is interesting to know is that this is the third surprise Chief Ministerial pick by the Bharatiya Janata Party. The first was in Chhattisgarh, where Vishnu Deosai, who is a tribal MLA, was appointed as Chief Minister. Meanwhile, it was Mohan Yadav, who is an OBC MLA, who was made the Chief Minister in Madhya Pradesh. All this comes a mere 6 months ahead of the 2024 general elections. It brings us to the question, what is BJP's strategy coming ahead? Is the party sending anyone can become Chief Minister message right before the Lok Sabha election? We'll dive deep into this strategy that has been built by the BJP painstakingly, and the party high command who has been behind these very strong, decisive decisions that have been made in the last 3 days. Quickly getting in Joyita on the telecast with me. Joyita, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh were comparatively easier states to deal with in picking the chief ministers. I think the Vasundhara Raje factor was the primary factor why there was a lot of speculation as to whether the BJP High Command will be able to circumvent the rumored factionalism that was being brought forth by Vasundhara Raje, but it looks like all is hunky-dory.
Well, I don't know whether it's all is hunky-dory or not, but at least the appearance is that everything is fine. And given that I think Vasundhara Raje was the person who made the announcement, so some sort of, I think she must have been placated because senior BJP leaders are present there. I mean, Rajnath Singh is present there. I mean, if he says something, I'm certain someone like Vasundhara Raje, even though she considered herself, I mean, she is the Maharani, she will not be able to, let's put it, say, disagree with what Mr. Rajnath Singh says. He's too big. So, but apart from that, I would say what we are witnessing is basically a couple of things, not just Rajasthan. We are talking about Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. In all these states, we are witnessing a generational change, a strong message that is going out to the cadre in terms of anyone who performs, who works really hard can become the chief minister. Mr. Sharma, it seems, is the general secretary, state party general secretary, and he won a very tough battle from Sanganer. That is what we are hearing. So the things, and he's of course, and yeah,
it was a given that the BJP is going to win from that seat, irrespective of whether it is Bhajanlal Sharma or anybody else, because this has been the Sanganer constituency has been the stronghold of the BJP for several years together.
No, the thing is that from whatever media reports, we do not know about Mr. Bhajanlal Sharma. The thing is that the media reports are saying that he has been working very hard on the ground to ensure BJP's victory, not only in his constituency, in other constituencies also. He has been the state general secretary of the party, and he has been in politics for a long time, over 2 decades, I think. Plus, he's a committed RSS person, RSS man. And that is, one common thread. In fact, these are the three characteristics, these are the few characteristics I would say all the chief ministers have. All of them, and all the age group, if you have noticed, all of them are in the range of 57, 58, 50, 56 to 59. That is what the age group is about. So there is a pattern there. And apart from the thing is that there is a caste factor also that is coming in, which has been perhaps, so it has been done very intelligently, keeping in eye, I would say, even the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, sending out a strong message. It's very interesting, but let us see how these people govern now. That's important, the leadership qualities.
Absolutely. Now we are looking at the roadmap to 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Nikhil, quickly a word from you. This is in direct contrast to how the Congress leadership functions, the satraps that have been, and the factionalism that comes out of Congress, and particularly when we take a look at Karnataka, where Siddaramaiah and DKS have held the fort, or for that matter in Rajasthan, where Gehlot finds himself to be in a very powering position, versus the the conflicts that have happened and very public spats that have happened in the past between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot, and something similar has also been witnessed in Chhattisgarh. And while the Congress will continue to portray it as democracy, at the end of the day, this situation brings and makes Congress look like a weak party. At least the Congress High Command look weak in front of this factionalism or sort of this satraps that have been created in all these states.
Megha, I think first of all, the political commentators in the country need to decide whether they love a high command or they don't like one. When the Congress party had a stronger high command, everybody's criticism against the party was that this is a high command party, local leaders are not empowered in this and that. And now when the Congress has very strong local leaders who are very well empowered, people are going around criticizing the Congress party for not having a strong enough high command. I would put the question to you that
I'll just put a contrast to what the BJP is doing in appointing low profile karyakartas who have grown ground up. And then versus the 3 states where Congress has won the election, or 2 states now where the Congress has been able to win the election, and how it is the regional leaders who are in control of things versus
perhaps even
giving directions to the Congress High Command as what is to be done.
Can I speak? What would the people of the state want? Would they want a strong chief minister, a strong leader, a local leader who's very well grounded in politics and administration and public life, or somebody who nobody even knows about? The same thing happened with Madhya Pradesh yesterday. The same thing has happened in Rajasthan today. In fact, it is in a way worse. This person has never even been an MLA and straight away you made him a chief minister. This is coming from the same party whose biggest criticism against Rahul Gandhi is that he's never had an administrative experience. So how can he gun for the top post of the prime minister? This person does not even have legislative experience. Nobody knows who he is. He was a state general secretary in the BJP, and there are 20, 30, 40 general secretaries. I really don't understand how a person like that could straight away be made the chief minister. And this is nothing but weakening of the post of the chief minister, especially also 2 other deputy chief ministers have also been made, one of whom has been a former member of parliament, Diya Kumari, who comes from the Jaipur royal family. And obviously now Rajasthan is not going to run from Jaipur. Rajasthan is going to be run from Delhi, and this is not good for the people of the state. You want local and state leaders. Whichever party may be in power, that is a separate question.
Ashok Gehlot has
I don't understand how
you've seen how Vasundhara Raje has performed. And there is always, Rajasthan is called a flip state. It's a swing state. So, take a chance, pick a person who's fresh, pick a person who has been
Megha,
a karyakarta who has been loyal to the party, and see if there is stability that can be maintained in Rajasthan. And see if stability can be maintained in Rajasthan. Here it is when Ashok Gehlot runs the state according to his plans, according to his decisions, and Vasundhara Raje is also running the state according to her decisions.
And that is how it should be. That is how it should be. The chief minister of the state is to decide.
But they've been losing. I'm saying, is this the right way to run a state? Because on one hand, it is Vasundhara Raje and her leaders who run the state, and then after 5 years it is Ashok Gehlot. This is not good for a state and its stability, is what I'm saying.
Why? No. Why is it not good? If you have a change of government in 5 years.
Why is it not good for a state or a country to just have a leadership for 5 years and move on to the next?
We are not living in a dictatorship, Megha. It is perfectly all right for any state or the country to change their leader in 5 years. That is the reason you have elections in 5 years. Otherwise, going by that logic, we should have elections in 10 years or 20 years or 50 years or no elections ever.
For example, I'm just saying, ideologically, if you are a party who has won the election, for example in Rajasthan, and then you roll out a set of schemes, welfare projects, infrastructure projects, and you start to understand what the state of Rajasthan works like, functions like. And then as soon as you are able to then put in functionaries, allow for groundwork to happen, allow for organizational works to happen, allow for infrastructure, welfare to happen, suddenly after 5 years you have another government that has replaced you.
What would you rather want?
Then they roll back all the
CMs
previous
and
schemes
PM to
and
have a
projects,
25-year
and then they
tenure.
bring. I'm not citing the Congress, I'm not citing the BJP, I'm saying that's the reality.
I perfectly
that's the reality of how governments function. Whether you take a look at the opposition states in the country, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh up until recently, Jharkhand, you take a look at the states and there is always a conflict with regards to the central government funded schemes versus the state government funded schemes.
Okay, can I also to speak? Is this a speech?
Quickly,
I don't
quickly,
understand.
30 seconds, yes.
Yeah. Wonderful. When you have a change in government by a different party, the policy priorities change. It's not that the entire government is thrown up and removed. The bureaucracy remains the same, the institutions remain the same. It's only the people who are at the absolute top who change, the ministers and the chief minister. And there's nothing wrong in that. I don't understand what proposition are you putting forth. Do you want a
all right.
situation
You and I
of
have
a
a
system
difference of
where
opinion,
somebody is
and that's
ruling for
okay.
25 years?
That's okay. It's perfectly okay to disagree on certain points. Quickly getting also on the telecast with me is Himanshu Bhatt. Himanshu, a quick look at how the Lok Sabha numbers for the BJP have built up in the state of Rajasthan, irrespective of whether it has won the Rajasthan Assembly election or not. So, will this further help BJP increase its numbers this time around? Number of seats it wins is from Lok Sabha Rajasthan assemblies, Lok Sabha seats. Will this give a better impetus to the BJP?
See, it's something like this, They won 25, all 25 last time. So anything less than that, that will be a defeat. That will be called a defeat. But then let me tell you one thing. Vishnu, Mohan and Bhajan, 3 new faces, all 3 below 60, has given a very straightforward message to the people of the country that we are going for a transitional shift, generational transition shift. That's number one. Number two, somewhere down the line, there's a very stern message to the senior leaders of the party also, that unlike Congress, we will not tolerate, because this has been told by the BJP leadership right from 2014. Corruption will not be tolerated. Somewhere down the line, when you see the appointments of these 3, you will understand one thing, and that is the new faces have been given a responsibility with a straight mandate that don't indulge into any corrupt practices, govern your state, and do the needful. That's as simple as that. I do not see anything else, because when I see these 3 names, which we call it here a Skylab, the Skylabs have fallen. That has happened to Gujarat also. So it's already there in the minds of this leadership. You have to look at the party and its line of thinking. And people are saying, first time MLA, first time MLA. This is the same man who was three times under 3 different state BJP presidents as a Mahamantri. So he knows in and out of all these 115 who have won. People don't understand that. He was an organizational man who was for 3 terms, not once, for 3 times, under different state presidents. He was a Mahamantri.
Okay, yeah.
So it has to be understood.
Yeah.
What is the line of thinking here?
Yeah, absolutely.
And by these 2 deputy prime ministers, on one side, Rajput community is being taken care of, and the other deputy CM, you are seeing Dalits being taken care of.
Yeah.
So on one side, on one state, you have SC, Adivasis being taken care of. Other side, you have a message to Yadavs. So the caste combination, which Congress has been talking so much about, that is already being taken care of.
Yeah.
And BJP's line is very, very different.
Yeah.
For them, there are 4 castes and nothing else.
Yeah, okay. Joyita, talking about, the caste politics and the balancing act that BJP has been able to do in all the 3 states. We take a look at Chhattisgarh, where 32% of the population is Dalit, is tribal, and therefore a tribal minister. When we take a look at Madhya Pradesh, OBC is where the BJP stronghold is, the voter basis, and therefore you have an OBC chief minister. Here you have a Brahmin, an upper caste leader who has been made the chief minister. Obviously, Divya Kumari, popular vote. She comes from the royal family, and the other individual from an OBC class. So, all classes, all castes have been catered to. And again, a differentiation on how Lok Sabha elections and assembly elections work. And there's a different modus operandi that is played by the BJP High Command in both the angles.
Well, I think what the BJP leadership is doing is, obviously, when we are talking specifically about the caste combination, what they are doing is 2 things I think they are trying to take care of. Number one, this constant harping by Rahul Gandhi that, OBCs are not being given anything, OBCs are not being given anything, even though the Prime Minister is an OBC. So, OBCs in general will not be swayed by it, but there is a segment of OBCs, and that's the creamier layer, the Yadavs. You see, because when you are looking at the Yadavs, there is no Yadav, even Bihar does not have a Yadav chief minister, UP also does not have a Yadav chief minister, and there is a buzz that there is a substantial section of the Yadav vote may be shifting towards the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections. So, and you see, so this is ultimately it is the BJP, the message that the BJP is sending out to the Yadav community, that it is not the Congress or the RJD for that matter, but it is the BJP that is giving you a Yadav chief minister. So, you see, because you see, as I said, that OBC argument Rahul Gandhi's is not going to cut, but yes, the Yadav thing, it's a message, it's an extra layer to that OBC, BJP's quote unquote OBC card that is there, that is what they are doing. So, when you are looking at it, and then there is this buzz about, Brahmins in UP talk about, oh, we are not being looked after. So by appointing a Brahmin chief minister in Rajasthan, they are catering into that. So, in a way, if you are looking at it, they are not going at it just by state, they are looking at it in terms of language, the Hindi heartland. So, they are taking it as one, and they are placing chief ministers and deputy chief ministers accordingly.
Okay, all right. So, Nikhil, taking a look at the wins that BJP has had in all the 3 states, and even if the BJP had lost these elections, it's the roadmap it has charted for itself for the Lok Sabha 2024 would have remained the same. Keeping in mind the way it has fared in 2019 elections, where majority of the Lok Sabha seats in all these 3 states have been won by the BJP. Would BJP have worked any differently if it had lost these 3 states?
I'm not quite sure of that, but one thing that I can very clearly see is that the BJP might like to say that we don't engage into caste politics, but you look at the names of all the chief ministers and the deputy chief ministers who've been appointed so far, 7 of them total. It is nothing but a game of caste matrix, and this is exactly what the previous panelist was also talking about. I feel the BJP is going to have a very similar campaign in 2024 as they had in 2019 with hyper-nationalism, Hindutva, making Prime Minister Modi to be some sort of a demigod, while at the ground they would look at their caste compositions, caste matrices, and field candidates that are from the dominant caste in a given constituency, all while trying to, portray this, that we don't engage in caste politics, which is exactly what they're doing. And winning these 3 states obviously is going to strengthen their organization.
Caste is a very massive factor for any political party to win elections in our country. That's a given.
The difference,
that's a given. Yes.
Absolutely. But the difference is that other parties do not shy away from talking about it. They do talk about the fact that there are OBCs who've been historically disadvantaged. There are Dalits who've been historically disadvantaged. But the BJP never likes to make it known publicly. While on the ground, they like to play all the caste politics in the world that there is to play. But in public, so far as their narrative and campaigning and perceptions and the Prime Minister's speeches are concerned, what does the Prime Minister say about caste in the most recent speech that he had? Mere hisab se to 4 ही caste hoti hai, garib, aurat, and this and that. That is not a correct depiction of caste. Caste, as bad as it may be, it's a reality of Indian society, it's a reality of Indian fabric, and politics is nothing but a mirror of the society.
When we talk about a tribal chief minister, or we talk about an OBC chief minister, of course they come from the underprivileged background. They are the disenfranchised. But okay, so when we talk about caste politics, when we talk about communal polarization as well, why shouldn't then, and when we take a look at this north-south divide that is being created, or for that matter the Telangana elections and how they were played, or the DMK and how it has been playing in terms of Dravidian politics versus Hindus, or for that matter the number of narratives that had come in from Karti Chidambaram and other leaders as well. So should there also be an equal stand that needs to be taken by the Congress, saying that yes, we indulge in north-south politics as well, and it is about time that they come out and say that under the garb of secularism there is Hindu-Muslim plank, that is all, the Hindu-Muslim minority plank is also being played over here?
Absolutely not, Megha. The Congress party propounds secularism and they stand by it. They will make sure to give tickets to Hindus. They will make sure to give tickets to Muslims. They will make sure that
So
there
you're
is
saying while
adequate
the
public
Congress and the
representation for
other
different
parties
castes
will
and
indulge in
communities and religions.
casteism, they do not indulge in Muslim minority appeasement.
I'm not saying they indulge in casteism. It is one thing to give fair representation to the different caste groups in the society, and it is another thing to engage in casteism. Those are two very different things. All I'm saying is that every political party in the country, BJP and Congress both included, does like to factor in caste into their electoral matrix, electoral
Fair
management,
enough,
ticket
and you say
distribution,
that
and
they
so
are
on.
the
But the
underprivileged of the
Congress
society
says that
and they need to be
Congress says
given
that
the
BJP does not.
opportunities and chances and welfare projects that revolve around them for their betterment, for their development. So again,
Absolutely.
like obviously there is no political party that is going to come out and say that yes, we openly indulged in casteism or minority appeasement, but the same thing happens and it's quite apparent. Whether it is about campaigning
this
or for that matter.
this entire allegation of the Congress party engaging in minority appeasement is nothing but, for the lack of a better
played
word,
minority politics in a bit to rule
absolutely
over
not.
for 30
Absolutely
years.
not. No. Megha, that is just a narrative that the BJP likes to play. How does the BJP say that the Congress appeases the minorities? The BJP points out that Muslims have been greater beneficiaries of the welfare schemes of the Congress governments in the past. Now, when allegations are made against the BJP that you are not being fair to Muslims, what is the first thing that all of their spokespersons and senior leaders say? That 30% of the welfare scheme benefits of 30% beneficiaries of the welfare schemes by the central government are Muslims, despite being only 15% of the population.
Okay.
So what
all
exactly
right. So
happens is
fine.
that
So
Muslims
there's
as a community are more backwards on an average than Hindus. That is why they get more
that is played. So
welfare
while on
benefits.
one hand Congress attacks the BJP and says that you are playing the Hindutva card, you are playing Hindutva politics, on the other side it is the Congress that is accused of playing minority politics, Muslim appeasement. Quickly getting in Himanshu again on the show with me. Now Himanshu, I take a look at the larger picture. The assembly elections are over, the chief ministers have been appointed. Now their work is cut out in terms of the challenges they have, in terms of the campaigning that they have done, in terms of the promises that have been made to the people of the states, and thereby after 5 years the result will come out and see how have these chief ministers fared. But the larger picture of the Lok Sabha has perhaps got little to do with how assembly elections function and how the three states and the chief ministers are going to function.
Yes, it has got a little to do, but it has got a huge amount of work to be done in 100 days. Mind my words. And with these appointments, the generational shift that the party has already had, the ruling party, which is BJP now, they have to work extra hard. The reason for that is, in the states like Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, they took out their MPs and ministers and put them in fray in the elections in these two states. Now, most of them have been given nothing. So there is a message there. Either they go out gracefully with the retirement, or some of them might be taken back in the Lok Sabha. As I told you, Rajasthan, they have won all 25 last time. MP, but for one Kamal Nath seat, they have won everything. In Chhattisgarh also, out of 11, they have won 9. So they have everything to lose. If they lose anything more than that, it will be considered a loss for BJP.
Absolutely, yes.
And here the catch thing comes. We are talking so much about caste and all that, but this present government has changed the equations totally, because it's all very nice talking in a studio that castes do exist. But you go on the ground, you ask some people, you ask 100 people, and their friends would not know what caste they belong to. That is a reality today.
Okay.
And
Absolutely not.
This is where,
Okay.
this bifurcation of, farmer and a woman and a youth will come into play. That has caught the imagination of the people. Because otherwise, 65, 70 years, why should minority be different?
Okay, fair enough. That's your point of view. It may be right, may be wrong. Joyita,
Yes.
quickly, 30 seconds before I wrap this up.
Yeah, the thing is, you see, what we have been witnessing is also, it's basically a very intelligent mix of caste and, or rather let's put it this way, identity and development politics. You see, I mean, to say that BJP indulges, it's Prime Minister Modi talks big but actually indulges in caste politics, I think that's a totally wrong thing to say, because what Mr. Modi also has been trying to do is that he is trying to give Indian politics a post-caste election, and that is what it has been happening, but on the ground caste is still a reality.
Absolutely.
So that is the reason why, that is the reason why BJP also has to work on this, but to say that caste is their sole aim, I mean caste is the sole thing that identifies that party, or rather Mr. Modi, I think that's a very, very wrong reading of the situation.
Okay, as per the elections that have panned out in terms of how the BJP has campaigned, the High Command has been raking these matters up, is about the youth, it is about women, and it is about corruption. So these planks, and particularly how the women voters have been supporting the BJP in Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, speaks loud and clear of where the priorities of the BJP lie, and the changing vote bank of the BJP with when the 49% of the population of the country at this point of time is leaning towards the BJP, then it says quite a lot about how the party has progressed and transformed itself over the years.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.